Welcome to the podcast, Abigail and Alistair from Heron Valley. How are you, folksy, as well?
Yeah, good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good.
It's great to have you, if anything, because I'm a little bit of a fan, just a little bit. So I'm a wee bit starstruck, if you don't mind me saying. So, for folks out there who don't know who Heron Valley is, and you don't know who Abigail or Alistair is, do you want to introduce yourselves, guys?
Yeah, so I'm Abigail Pride. I'm the singer and fiddle player in Heron Valley.
And I'm Alistair, or Ali McLean, and I'm the flute and bagpiper.
There you are.
For the
Now,
band.
we also have a banjo player, guitar player, keys, all of that, but they're not joining us today. But we do have two of the best musicians, we could nearly say, in the whole thing. We'll not worry about the rest of them. Indeed, yeah. But seriously, I have been following Heron Valley now since I think it was the first time you released a music video, which was pressed for time, which was on the back of a boat in the middle of. So, do you want to tell us about the origin story then of Heron Valley and how you guys all got started then?
Yeah, so Press for Time was kind of like a really big moment for us. Up until then, we had been playing, Granny's 80th birthday ceilidhs and weddings, anything that you could think of, just a ceilidh in the hall, Burns nights, anything you can think of, we played it. Anywhere you think of in Scotland, we played it. We've been to the far corners of nowhere in Scotland. So when it came round, it was kind of about the same time, the likes of Skipnish and Skerryvore had released music videos. I think that's kind of like a big time in trad music where music videos had become a thing.
Yeah.
And we were so shocked with such warm response from everybody online with that Press for Time video. And we basically just kind of wanted to show the boat kind of thing was kind of like representation of like the journey we'd been on and things like that. And the gig at the end was just us having a good time. And we kind of wanted to put that across in the video. So
it certainly did come across. Yeah. If anything, then, Abigail, things just kind of skyrocketed for you since then. Do you want to tell us then? You guys have been really heavily touring. Well, obviously now lockdown, you can't at the moment. But before all of this nonsense, you guys were insanely busy, weren't you?
Yeah, it was amazing. We were so looking forward to it, and Ali especially was really looking forward to it. And his first tour of America got cut just as lockdown came, so that was a shame. But yeah, I think it was since about 2017 when we released our first album, Rome.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big process for us as well. The album, that was huge, but after we released that, we had something solid that we could show people. And a lot of the festivals totally loved it, and we couldn't believe how big it got after that. It was just a dream come true, actually.
It's been incredible watching the whole story, really, from the outset, from, as you say, playing in people's front gardens to playing in huge stadiums full of folk. It's been brilliant. But Alistair, you couldn't have joined at a worse time, man. With everything knocking down.
I know it was very unfortunate, but just got to stay positive, and we'll get there eventually.
That's hopefully. Just it, yeah. So obviously you're the piper with the band, and joining the guys at Heron Valley, have you had much of an opportunity to play together, before everything locked down, or?
We done a few things, I think, just before maybe kind of November time while I was there. I think the biggest thing we done was kind of write the new album coming soon. So that was good.
There we go. So I got that early doors.
That later.
Yeah. But if anything, we currently have a new EP out as well that you guys can go and pick up at the moment. So do you want to tell us about the new EP then, Abigail?
Yeah, so the EP kind of came about after our, I think it would have been our third tour of the States. And it would have been Kyle that was with us then. So Kyle put together some of the sets for that EP as well. So it was named after Erie, Lake Erie, that's Canada and America. And we had actually been in Cleveland at the time, staying at an Airbnb, and we really hit it off with our host, and he was He was such an amazing guy. He called himself Paul from Earth. He didn't like to say he was from a specific place. He just said, "I'm Paul
Yeah.
from Earth," and
I like that.
So he was an artist and photographer, and he had this beautiful picture of Lake Erie, and it was really moody and things like that. And I loved it, and everyone really loved it. So when it came to, we had kind of put together the tunes whilst we were on tour, the tunes and the songs. When we came home, we're like, we've got to put these down. This is, we'll just put down something we can get out there. And I said, we need to have Paul's artwork on that CD. So we sent it away to Pierce at Loom, and he kind of put together what is the CD artwork. So if you look inside the face, that is Lake Erie in there. It was really special, even though it's just a small CD. It was really special.
I was going to ask you about the artwork because it really is quite beautiful, So that's where that came from, then. Yeah, Paul from Earth.
Paul from Earth.
Give each to me a pint of wine and fill a tin a silver tassie, that I may drink afore I go, a service to my bonny lassie. The boardwalk's at the pier o' Leith, full out the wind blows frae the ferry. The ship rides by the Berriglaw, and I maun leave my bonny lassie. Their trumpets sound and the banners fly, the glittering spears are round to middy. Their shouts so loud are heard afar. The battle closes deep and bloody. It's not the roar of sea on shore would mock me longer wish to tarry, nor shouts of war that's heard afar. It's leaving thee, my bonny Mary. The boardwalk's at the pier o' Leith, full out the wind blows frae the ferry. The ship rides by the Berriglaw, and I maun leave my bonny Mary. The boardwalk's at the pier o' Leith, full out the wind blows frae the ferry. The ship rides by the Berriglaw, and I maun leave my bonny lassie.
Excellent stuff. Now, if anything, I have to ask you then about the music itself, and you guys making a choice to have a bagpiper with you. No offense, Ali, but having a piper playing in a Keeley band has its own set of challenges. Is that something that you guys actively chose to have? Like, did you really make a choice, right, we need to have a piper?
Well, originally we actually had two.
Yeah.
So originally there were two pipers, so we really loved the pipes. And I think it was because the boys in Arlene that were in the original band, they were all friends. since they were young. I was after Nick to join, so that was Nick and then me. So those guys were all from Dunoon and they all knew each other. So I don't think it was a conscious decision, but it became, especially for me, a really big part of my music style. You know, my fiddle playing is really heavily based on pipes. I grew up learning the fiddle alongside pipes, so that's really affected how I play, and I have a really big connection to it. So
That's it. And you can really tell, you know, with the music, because the fiddle sound and the pipe sound almost sound as one. It's weird to describe to people. If you haven't never heard it before, it's like the two tones blend into what. It's very strange. Is that something that you actively work on, though, to harmonize the two instruments together like that?
Yeah, I'll if we're recording, especially with the album that Ali mentioned there that we were writing, and we started recording that in was it November, I think, around then, and me and Ali worked really hard together to kind of blend. You know, I would maybe play something different to how he would play it, but we would be able to blend together, and I think that was really important for us to have that sound.
There you go. That's interesting now, for sure. So, Ali, I've got some geeky piping questions for you, I'm afraid. Can you tell us about setup then, mate? Because obviously playing in different stages, different climates, all has its challenges, along with playing with other instruments. What kind of upkeep or setup do you have, Alistair, to keep things moving?
Well, I'm quite fortunate. My pipes are quite handy for that. The drone wise, I've got a good set of drones that are very solid.
Good. That always helps. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but with the chanter, I kind of go for having it as close to B flat out the box.
Right.
So I don't have much tune up, or don't need too much tune up time beforehand, and that just kind of balances out when it's like putting the pipes down for a while and then picking them up again, and they're just usually kind of
there or close enough, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So, and then I guess if it gets too hot, then maybe a quick pull out, you know, and change it. But I'm quite lucky that everything seems to be working. But I've noticed I don't really tune up too much, and if we do things in the RCS, big pipe things, and then everyone's in B flat and they're all kind of coming up, and I'm usually up there already. So,
oh, I see. Yeah.
So that's maybe something that I do a bit different.
See, that's one of the things about, you know, especially for chanter tone, like it raises in pitch so quickly sometimes with playing in the heat. And, you know, Abigail, I don't know, I'm not a fiddle player, but do you guys have similar challenges to what bagpipers would do, you know, with tuning and things like that?
We do to an extent. It's definitely not anything like, you know, how the heat would affect the pipe. So I've noticed that. I think we were playing in Montana. We were in Butte, Montana, and it was the hottest I have ever been. And the pipes were just. There was a piping workshop as well that our old piper Ewan McNabb participated in, and he was having the worst time because he was the only one with Highlands. Various different things. So yeah, he was definitely having a horrible time with that. But I'm usually okay. It's much easier, obviously, for me to tune, and I usually just tune to whatever the pipes are doing. Basically, as long as we and the pipes are in tune, then it's fine. Everyone else, obviously, like the keyboard can't change, but
no, they just do their best to kind of follow suit. Then, really.
Yeah, but it's never, especially like Ali said, it's actually I've found that we don't actually have a lot of problems with tuning.
There you go.
Not that we've had a lot of opportunities.
Well, that's just it. Abigail, I'm going to quiz yourself, really, because you're kind of known for, well, famously telling stories in between songs as well. And, you know, talking about where you're from and all of that, romantically telling these incredible stories. Is that something that you work on yourself, you know, putting these great tales together?
You know, it was actually something that I was really nervous about. The first time we went to the States was the first time I'd ever done, or maybe I had done a couple of gigs before, sit-down concerts. But with Heron Valley, this was my first time doing a sit-down concert. And usually we don't really have to do much. We just get on, play the tunes, everyone's clapping, dancing and having a drink. But, you know, when people are actually there to listen to the music and not to come and participate in a festival, it's a completely different vibe. So I was extremely, extremely nervous doing that the first time. But you could probably tell that I could talk to a brick wall, to be honest. So I did that, and it went okay. And then when he came with us on our second tour, he is amazing at telling stories, and he also can just add like little extra sparkles to stories as well. So I learned a lot from him. But yeah, it was something I did actually have to work on, and I would sit sometimes, even on the plane on the way there, I was like, right, I'll tell this story in between here. And one you've probably seen was the story I told about our video home. So we climbed a mountain or hill, whatever you want to call it, called the Ben and Lochan, and we had made our sandwiches for the day, which obviously we call pieces here.
Mm-hmm.
So we had got to the top of the hill, we were about halfway through, and I was saying, where are the pieces? So I'm telling this story, and the joke is that I had left the sandwiches the pieces sitting on the top of the car, and you could see that on the top of the hill. So that's a joke that I was telling when we were in America, but obviously I was saying pieces, and it wasn't till the end of the tour that I found out that piece means a firearm. Your piece means a firearm in America. So I had been telling everybody that I was just leaving firearms lying about the place, and so nobody really found it very funny, and I was like, why is no one laughing at my joke? So that was I learned from that one too.
Oh, there you go.
Beforehand.
Lost in translation there, I say, yeah.
Bathroom where you land, wherever you'll be searching. Won't you follow? No one follow me to get home. Won't you ask someone to show you? You'll feel hollow, hollow. Find your way home. Walk with me by the sand and through the trees. I can show you to your homeland of your distant memories. Walk with me where you thought you'd always be.
So that's one thing actually that you've been doing recently on TikTok, is that you've been teaching folk kind of Scottish words and language and things like that. How have you found the reaction, Abigail, to all of that online?
Yeah, it was really unusual actually. I had no idea people were so interested in, I say the Celtic culture because we share so much obviously with the other Celtic nations, and a lot of the time it's kind of unknown who started what a lot of the time, so I like to just say the Celtic culture. The response was amazing, and I couldn't believe how many people took to it. They loved it. So yeah, it was nice to be able to share some of our own cultures with other people.
That's it indeed. And I have to ask you then, when you're talking about showing your culture to other people, how have you found the music travels? You know, you've been all over the place playing this music. How have you found the reception around the world?
I think we have especially something different to offer with our Highland bagpipes. Obviously that is our big thing, and it is so well received, but also people can relate to it. So especially in Italy and France and things like that, their Celtic music is very similar, and they're, it's all come from dancing, really.
Yeah.
And so their dancing music originated in the same way ours did, so it's all very similar. So they can relate to it, but it's got that extra something special with the Highland bagpipes. So
there you go. So Ali, you're adding that something special, mate. Yeah.
You're the wee
good.
sprinkle.
Yeah. So, Ali, can I ask then, I do know you from the competitive piping scene. I do remember you playing in Glasgow Sky and others. So are you still playing competitively at the moment?
I'm not. No, I haven't for, I think 2018 was my last year in the Sky.
Yeah.
So it was just 1 year in the Sky actually. And then I just, with the RCS, decided to focus on the folky and Cayley side of piping, and it's been good. It's a little less stressful.
That's just what I was going to ask you about the comparison between the two different worlds. You know, the competitive scene where you're really focused on getting every grace note right, but moving that to the folk scene. How have you found that move?
It's been good. I guess you don't need to worry about the grace notes too much.
Yeah.
But I do, because it's something that you want to do. You want to make it as good as you can. But if you miss a grace note, then that's it. You just forget about it and carry on.
There's nobody there with a clipboard writing it down. No.
There might be, but it doesn't really affect it too much. Yeah, still want to make things as good as possible, of course.
That's it indeed. But I'm sure you found it like musically kind of freeing in a way, that you're not stuck to your march, strathspey and reel. You can do exactly as you please, really, in a set. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I don't really play MSR as much. It's a rare thing for me to do these days, but it's just a bit of fun when I do them and play a good set of 2/4s, and that's it.
There you go. You couldn't beat them sometimes. I love them.
Yeah. Class.
So I have to ask a couple of questions then about future upcoming releases. Abigail, you've been working on your solo stuff this last while. How are things progressing with that?
Yeah, I actually, it's not been announced yet, but my single is coming out very soon. It will be March.
Oh, there we go.
So
Great.
Single, coming out then, which is really exciting. We had to do a video that I'm not in, obviously, because as a band, Keith is the label head for my album. So Keith, our keyboard player, and he owns We Studio. So he's recorded the Heron Valley EP as well. So we weren't able to meet up and film and things like that. So the video won't have me in it. But I think that's kind of refreshing.
There you go. Yeah.
Compared to the other stuff that we've done, which is nice. So that's really exciting.
I'll have to keep an eye out for that now. Yeah, March. Very cryptic. It's 4 weeks in March. But yeah, look, I'm looking forward to that all the same. You'll have to keep us posted. But Ali, you did mention working on a new album, recording little things here and there in November. Any idea, guys, of when we're going to get a new release from you?
Ali's very quiet.
I don't think so.
No.
We don't have any dates at the moment.
No. Just a work in progress, really, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. We've still got Darren still to put drums on, and Callum still to got bass to put on. So we actually have no idea when it's going to be ready, but we can say it's going to be pretty good. It's a wee bit different to what we have been doing. It's kind of, you'll see a progression from Rome to Eerie Storm to what it is now.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. If anything, I have to say, as a fan, I can see where you guys started, and then obviously with all of your travels around the world and that, you can really see that in your music. It's really changed the tone and the approach of everything for your music. Is that something that you've, again, actively worked on to try and incorporate, your experiences?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, like I said, with Eerie Storm, I think we tried not to make it too much. I think there's especially in Take You There, our single that we released, that is on Eerie Storm, and you can tell that is very different to the rest, but that hadn't been put on a CD, so we put it on there. And the production on that is really, really different, and I think we tried for Eerie Storm just to keep it to its roots, because that's the sound that we had been playing for a month straight. So we really tried to not let it get too excited and let it explode. So we actively did try and keep that really special sound that we had got on tour. So
there you are. It's honestly, it's fascinating, and I could chat to you guys all day about this, but I have to let you go. But unfortunately, there's a couple of questions I have to ask you just before you go. There's big Rab Show staples. Have you got a favorite cheese? Starting with Ali. Have you got a favorite cheese?
I actually don't.
No.
I'm not. I'm a big fan of all cheese, to be honest, and as much as possible.
And yourself, Abigail?
Philadelphia.
Oh, the spreadable goodness. There you go.
Yeah.
Nice. Fantastic. Now, I have to say, we have been following Kyle Howe's YouTube channel now for years. Obviously, we knew since he was playing with you guys, we thought, hey, we're going to get loads of videos. And so we did. We got a whole tour kind of diary and stuff. What was your experience of putting that together with Kyle? Were you guys really annoyed with him poking a camera in your face all the time?
You know what? At the time, I was like, there would be mornings or like nights where we were traveling through the night or like up really early in the morning, having just played a gig the night before. It's a lot of play drive. And there would be mornings I'd be like, Kyle, get it out of my face. And there's a couple that you can see that I have genuinely just rolled out my bed. Still in my pajamas, basically my jumper on top. But do you know what? I was so glad that he did it, and he did such an amazing job of putting it all together. It was incredible, and he would stay up really late some nights putting it together. But I'm so thankful he did it, because the memories are so nice to look back on.
Yeah, some of them are incredible. Can I say that Nick and Callum are both hysterical?
Yeah.
And you know, the things they get up to, fantastic stuff. So guys, if you aren't aware of it, go and check out Kyle Howe's YouTube channel. You can get all of these tour videos from Heron Valley, and it's absolutely brilliant to watch. And if you haven't heard anything from Heron Valley, then go and check out the website, the Bandcamp, all of that. It's all available everywhere. Do you want to give a bit of a plug then, Abigail, with the websites and all that stuff, where folk can hear you?
Yeah, absolutely. So our physical CDs are available through our website, which will take you to our Wee Studio Bandcamp. And I think there is t-shirts available on the website. Ooh. Correct me if I'm wrong. There might be something available there. And we're on all the streaming sites and things like that. So you can basically find us anywhere. Type us in. There is a Heron Valley cider. That's not us.
No, I was going to say that. Yeah, I typed your name into Google a couple of weeks ago, actually, and got a cider company. So what's going on here? I was thinking, did you guys release your own cider?
We branched out.
there you go. Guys, honestly, it's fantastic to talk to you. Thank you so much for taking time to chat to us. And we do hope to see the end of this stupid pandemic and we can open the gates again at different events and that. If you are going to be hitting the stage, can you let us know? And so we can make sure to go. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks a
Lovely.
million,
Yeah, thank
guys.
you.
Take care.